Hi guys, Prismo here. I wanted to give an update on my trading so far, and admittedly I haven't made a trade in a while, but to those that haven't really traded before, which is kind of also the point to me documenting this trading adventure. And by the way, this is, I believe, the third week of trading now. Well, assuming I still get to it, so you have to be doing trades and doing that consistently. But in any case, I wanted to show you while I have this screen up, because this is from today. It's fresh on my mind. I also have other trades that I have to kind of go back and pinpoint, but I'm showing this while it's fresh on my mind. So today, I got kind of a late start. So part of my plan is to start in pre-market, which is prior to 6:30 a.m. for me on the West Coast. And this is very doable, but I was kind of lazy getting up this morning, rolling out of bed. So when it became 6 a.m., which was still a half hour of pre-market remaining, I stayed in bed. I ended up taking a shower, and then got ready for work, all these things. Came over, sat down at the computer, and I could really feel the change in my mood, the change in my vibe. So it really goes to show that discipline is a big part of this, and it's to be taken seriously. And I guess in a sense, it's kind of a good thing I didn't make a trade today, but that was certainly what was going through my head. Because when you're working normally and you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm late. It's the same. You want to think about this like it's the same setting as work, because there's a potential to make money with this and also lose money. But basically, you don't want to go into it with this attitude of, it's like, I'm late, I'm behind, I'm not prepared, all these things. And and that will absolutely happen. You'll miss your opportunities. So going through this, I was a little late today. So the first time I started really looking for a trade, actually it was before this, but this is when FFIE ticker symbol really started moving up today. And it was quickly becoming one of the top few in the list. This has been my scalping strategy so far, which is the term for it. So I started looking at it about here. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so somewhere here. These lines were all here. I haven't changed that. So I was looking at this like I'm waiting for it to cool off a little bit, and it kind of did here. I guess I didn't end up. Well, I might have drew lines on this, but basically this puts me at about this morning. I started thinking about getting in around here, and then you see these are red candles. This is just a scan I'm using on Webull. It dipped below the 13 EMA, so this is important to what I'm using on my trading adventure. This has actually been, I guess, moderately reliable so far. Dipped below, and then it came right back up. Now, if you watched the early part of the day today, you kind of know that everything was very bearish. The SPY over here was trending down, especially really early in the morning. Right, well, yeah. Basically, the morning it was pretty much trending down. So I didn't get into this trade, but if I had, it kept going up and up and up. But basically, I saw these were scalp opportunities, so there were a couple of them. And I saw it was like 3 and 5 minutes. Now, for all I knew, this could have been the end of it because I saw two before it RMED. And then let me see if I can find the other one while this is fresh in my mind. Yeah, I think it was this one, RBCN, Rubicon, and it looks like this one stayed up. So both of these were looking bearish. So it's important to catch these trends. So I saw like, this is not looking good, don't get into it. This one was looking good. And I was definitely kicking myself when I went to work because I knew this was looking the best of the ones I saw, which I had been watching for about half hour before this one came about. So yeah, I guess lesson learned. This one never really cooled off. It just kept going up and up and up. If I had made a quick scalp at, let's say, really when I started watching was here, let's say 4.7, right? And then, oh no, it goes down, stayed in it. So this is per minute. So you're looking at like a 20-minute time frame to get back. And then it starts going up. And then I could sell up here about 5.1. So I saw that, and there was no reason why I couldn't have made at least $10 today. But I didn't get into that trade. So that's something that I more recently learned, and I'll find that I'll find one other trade from earlier in the week, just so it doesn't take too much time, and I'm kind of comparing, contrasting where I am now with where I was. So I'll get that up in just a second. And I found it. So it was kind of hard to find because the settlement date ends up being a day later than the actual trade was. So this was the only other time it was at the price that I bought it at, because I bought it near the top. So this was a losing trade from June 29th last week. Also had a winning trade before this, but luckily I had a very small loss. I'm not going to show it this time like I did last week, but just to read it off. So I bought it at 0.395, very high, and then I sold it off at 0.3742, and I think it's here. So it gets up to there about that candle, puts us about there. 6:53. Yeah, I think that seems about right because it was before 7 a.m. my time. And then the length of this was, with every candle being a minute, bam, 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 bam. Again, these are red candles. And then we're still up. Remember it selling about here? So 3.7. Let me zoom in a little bit. So 3.7 would have been somewhere here. So if I draw lines, this is very approximate. I'm not saying for sure this is when I bought and sold, but I know it wasn't very long. And then 3.95. Might have been a market order or a limit order, I'm not sure. So, but this is good. So let me show you why, because you have to take that L from time to time. So I bought in here, candle, 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 and then bam. Oh no, sorry. Kept going down and then sold here. Now I did set a limit sell. As I've learned to cut losses. So this was very important for me to learn last week. Just the execution of it. So this ended up resulting in, I only put down about 250. Oh no, actually it was less. I only put down about $120. So it was 120 down to about 112. So I only lost about $8, which is really good. You want to minimize your losses as much as you can. So important lesson to me. Yes, it's always nice to make money, but on the flip side, if you can minimize how much your is getting returned from what you've earned previously, that's all the better. And that's how you like slowly ramp up your earnings for the week. So those are the two trades I'll show. And then this is a key thing I've started using, is just, this is called the tape. And then it would have said ALNA at the time. And then what I look for are these large blocks of sell orders followed by buying long orders. If I see like back and forth too much, I don't get in. So I'll watch this as often as I'll watch the graph. And that was really key to last week. That might have been part of the reason why I was able to get enough of a grasp to see when to really get in. Still kind of felt like a leap of faith at the end of the day. And another thing I started using, if I drag this in, is Moomoo. So the reason why I'm using this is for the level 2 orders. So if I show this, let me make this window smaller. It's down here. I'll be honest, I don't fully comprehend how to analyze this, but I do notice that the ask will fight against the bid. So that will determine what orders are coming in that are at the ask versus the bid. And this, along with the tape, is very important to gauge just as much as the graphs. So that was something that I definitely picked up on this last week. It was something new that I learned in addition to that first week. And another thing I like using Moomoo for is the analysis, particularly the short sales, thanks to all the AMC videos. Lovely AMC videos I've been watching. Wow, so I guess this was based on short interest. I wasn't watching it today. I also didn't get in today. But if I had been looking here, I would have definitely have noticed this on FFIE. So that's good to know. Okay, so I was definitely blanking on the last thing I wanted to show you. So here is the last update to show, is the trading adventure log, which I am continuing. This shows you all the trades I've made, win or lose. So this is where we ended last time. And here are all the trades. You'll notice there's only 2, which is, like, I could do a little bit more than this, admittedly. Certainly could have traded in the past couple of days. Maybe we've just taken a small loss. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is still a large profit and that's a small loss. So I was approximating, it's actually about $6.25 I lost. Look at where we're at. So this is going into the 3rd week, which I guess you can only consider it where you did your last trade is where you're at, and then it resumes when you do the next trade, is kind of how I'm trying to picture this. But I'm still up $40. I mean, so I'm also a piano teacher on the side in addition to insurance. And this is like, well, a little less than one of my lessons, but around that same amount. So this is like the equivalent of, I got my small profit from doing 1 hour lesson. So I consider this a big win. You guys might feel differently, but I'm still trying to be a very disciplined trader as much as I can. I certainly don't want to end up like a statistic after 90 days being in the red. So definitely doing what I can here and learning along the way. So with that, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Also, by the way, it's my AMC shares. It's where I'm at. And I'll see you guys in the next video.